Well, thank you so much, Justin, for taking the time. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Pleasure.
I'm glad we were able to make this work. My daughter is 11 and she's obsessed with this show. Like, it's so funny how much she loves it. But it's so crazy that it was like the number one new preschool series, which is amazing. How
It's
did that feel?
awesome. You know, I love telling people that I work with, especially students and artists that I work with, that this business is cyclical. And if you are kind to people, not just because you meet the same people on the way down as you do, just because it's the right thing to do, if you do good work and if you stay in the game, like it always in some way keeps coming back around to you. And so for me, being on American Idol, then Broadway, then getting to play television characters like Lil Sweet, and now like the dream of working with Disney
Yeah.
and then doing it on like their number one shows. It's just awesome. I mean, and again, it has been 23 years since I really had my big break.
Yeah.
And I still find surprises and new ways to do what it is that I love, which is entertain people.
I love that. You just make me feel old because I did watch American Idol live, and
How
I'm like,
did
that
I
was
feel?
23 years ago.
Yeah, how old were you when you were
I
watching?
don't know. I'm 40 now, so do the math. Figure
Yeah,
it out.
there you
Yeah.
go. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
exactly.
but I did vote for you too. I should tell you that. But
Well, thank you very much.
not.
But and when people tell me that, I always love to say, like, yeah, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's like you
Yeah.
gave the on ramp to be able to do this and so much more.
Well, you deserve it. You're super, super talented. So, but so I want to know what it was about Super Kitties that really drew you to want to be a part of the series because I think it's so much fun.
Well, it was fun. I mean, I read the description of the character, and the character is like this little slinky ninja like character who is always kind of getting into trouble and doing the sort of like the wrong things for the right reasons.
Mhm.
And I have three kids, and we grew up watching Disney, right? And I know, like, I mean, just they said, "Hey," my agent was like, "Hey, there's this Disney thing that they want you." I was like, "Yes." Yes, all right. And so it just was one of those things where I showed up and I was working with casting and the producers. And the one thing that I love to do is
Mhm.
to play. Like auditions are like nobody likes auditions, not the creative team, not the people who have to audition, but when you can walk in there with the spirit of play and let go of all the what if I don't get it? What if I do get it? What are they gonna like me? All that head trash. And you can play,
Mhm.
so many wonderful things happen. And so that's exactly what I did. And so I was in there, I was just playing around and I was like, what would it sound like? And I thought in my head, like, what would it sound like if I mixed like a little kid with Eartha Kitt as Catwoman, right? Because Eartha has this sort of voice like this, right? And it's just like this really iconic, and it's sort of this like tight thing that has this purr to it. And I was like, well, what if I pitched that up? And I think like, oh, if I was more like this, and oh my goodness, and he just came to life, and he was so much fun. And besides just that, um, the fact that people like we all make mistakes. And I think it's important the earlier that we learn it's okay to make mistakes. Some of our greatest ideas, successes, lessons come from making mistakes. And Cat Burglar like makes them all the time, but he always takes responsibility for it. And he always is like realizing, oh, I could have gotten what I wanted or done that thing without like stealing from somebody or doing the wrong. There's a better way. Right. And so I love that in a society that doesn't necessarily reward mistakes and like people don't want to be wrong or fail or make any mistakes that Cat Burglar teaches, hey, it's like it's okay, and sometimes it's a really great thing to make mistakes as long as you take responsibility for it and do better next time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think he gives a lot of great messages. Every episode of his is always one of our
Yeah.
favorites is that Christmas one where
They let me sing.
I
Oh,
know. That's what I was going to
oh.
ask you about. What was that like?
It was so awesome because I grew up as a Disney kid, and my favorite Disney animated movie of all time is The Sword and the Stone.
Great
Not,
choice.
yeah, but not a commercial success for Disney. It was one of their few like not like successful animated cartoons, and yet it is my favorite because there's something really beautiful about the music in it and how Arthur goes from being like this gangly little kid to being the knight and the Arthur and the king that we know. And oh man, I loved it so much. And so I remember going into audition one time for the voice of Mickey Mouse. You're like, wait, what? Yeah, again, like another sort of dream audition.
Mhm.
And at the time, I was working, I think I was doing like hosting a lot of stuff and live red carpets and so I was like really in the flow and mix in Hollywood. And I went in the Burbank studios and I was like, oh my, and I did all my auditions and everything. And like I remember it being like super close, right?
Mhm.
It's like, do you want to come to my clubhouse? Well, all right, let's go. Like it was really close, but it wasn't quite it. And I didn't get the gig, but I remember walking out and seeing the office had the poster of Sword in the Stone. And I was like, man, I love that movie so much. And oh my goodness, I'm so glad I got to come and at least audition in this place. And it was such a thrill for me to then be able to not only like get a voiceover animated gig working with Disney, but then to be able to sing on top, like
Yeah.
all of the things that I grew up loving and like being glued to the TV watching on Disney, I get to do now, which is a dream come true, literally.
Literally, it's amazing. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And so, like I said, my daughter's 11, and she loves this series. But what do you think it is about Super Kitties that makes kids really relate to it and love it so much?
Well, I think it's just like every single one of the characters embodies like a trait that kids have, right? Like it's a playful, adventurous, a little bit shy, like and even I mean everything in Kittydale is just so fun and funny. And even when we're in situations like dire circumstances with puppy paws or like something the city's being taken over, like it doesn't matter. There's always, even throughout the struggle, there's adventure, there's fun, there's always, hey, we can do it together, right? If we just join forces, hey, if you fall down, I'm going to pick you up. There's so many wonderful themes that I think now that we are in such a world with our phones and our devices where we're connected, but maybe a little bit more separate than we've been, right? That there is a place like Kittydale where we
Mhm.
can learn lessons like positive self-image and connecting with one another and picking up your friends when they fall down and making mistakes, but taking responsibility for it and learning. And so I think it's really cool that kids in preschool can enjoy it, but also kids who are 11, like your child, like will love it because it's something that everybody can get a little bit of something out of.
Absolutely, I agree. Now, you also do a couple like additional voices and stuff. So, what is it like finding another voice? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I don't know what it is, but I've always enjoyed doing that. I've always enjoyed doing like impersonations and voices and things like that. And I have another one of the hats that I wear is I train people to speak on stages, right? Like business
Ah,
people who get up and maybe are really good at what they do, but aren't so great with the communication. And so as a part of a presentation that I give for the Elite Speakers Network, I do this I just do the sort of this Matthew McConaughey impersonation. It's like, yeah, it's cool. And like, so I just love like doing different voices. And so when they bring me something, um, I just love to find like the little ways. And I think the most challenging one that I've done so far on Super Kitties, besides like, there's the towns guy, like it's a dad, right? Like some dude, like, but is there was a mouse. I think it was the Christmas special. There was a mouse who it was like a very much in like an Irish family as one would find in Kittydale, just a family of Irish mice. And so I had to put on this voice. Oh, thank you so much, Catty. And I had to find out the different ways to say it. And I don't want to be like offensive. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because like I do have a little bit of Irish blood, but like I really had to find like something that was as authentic as possible, but also living in the world of Kittydale where things can be a little bit over the top. So it's fun. I want them to bring me more things, and the more that I can see the character, sometimes the voices just pop out, and it's just part of being a crazy person.
I love that so much. Part of it, that was great. No, but I mean, you really are. You're so good in this, and I love a villain, and I love when a villain
Yeah.
is like, a great, like you said, he's not doing it to be
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. No, not at all. He's doing, I remember, I think it was one of the first episodes I recorded was he had stolen all the yarn from the
Oh,
and there was this massive yarn ball, right? And of course, part of the adventure is he ends up escaping or trying to escape from the Super Kitties on this massive yarn ball, and he's running on top of it as it rolls down the street and having such a great time. And this massive ball of yarn is barreling throughout the streets of Kittydale. And yet, when we get to the end-ish of the episode, we find out that the reason why he took all of it was because he actually lost his special blankie.
mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh my goodness, it was my special blankie. And it's the thing that gives me comfort. And I lost it. And I took all this yarn because I was going to make a new one. Right. And like, again, like he's doing the wrong things for the right reason.
Right. Like, how do you get mad at that? Like,
yeah, I know. And then of course, like he always gives it all back, which must take for that's probably why you don't see him every episode. Because like when he does like pull like a huge caper like that, he's gonna like go around the town and give it all back. And like they definitely doesn't have any time for filming, I'm sure.
Right.
But but that being said, like even the villains, everybody, I mean, Professor Puppy Paws, who is played by my good friend and one of my just absolute heroes of a human being, James Monroe Iglehart. Even that, they're fun. We can root for the villain because we know at the end of the day they're going to do the right thing, whether they're forced to or not, and that all will be well in Kittydale.
Yes, absolutely. And then before we wrap, is there anything you can tease for next season that you're excited for?
Oh my goodness. What's really funny is I'm excited to just continue to do the voices and be a part of this. Listen, I'm just kidding. Just between you and me, can I tell you? It takes so long to record these episodes
Oh,
because
I'm
like
sure.
the animation, you record the episode and then and they send it away to the magical kingdom, and then it comes back and then you've got to record and fix it. It takes I didn't even know what season we were on.
Really?
No. I'm just kidding. I didn't know what season, but like the point is that like it just feels like there's so much and so many episodes and so much cool stuff. I will say this. I think I get to sing some more, which is really fun. And there's just going to be more hilarious hijinks, obviously. And Cat Burgler's definitely going to steal some things.
Oh, perfect.
And he's definitely going to get caught. And he's definitely going to learn his lesson, but continue to steal things.
Yeah, right. He does continue to steal things. He's always like, oh yeah, that's right. And then like three episodes later, he steals.
He's not going to disappoint. He's going to, there is one super huge heist that he is going to pull off. And I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to, and I'm putting this out into the universe. I am looking forward to more collaborations for Cat Burglar, because he did have one with his cousin, really fun, who is played by another very good friend of mine, Anika Noni Rose, who is amazing, and whose ride, can you believe, look, her ride just opened up.
I know. Disney World. I know.
Right? I know. She's a princess in real life and Disney. So yeah, I'm looking more forward to that. That's what I'm hoping that, in the hilarious hijinks of Kittydale, I'd love to see a good sort of cat burglar puppy paws
Yes.
collab. Some more villain collabs, you know?
Why not? That'd be so much fun. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Justin. I really,
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I
And
appreciate you too. Thank you so much, Tessa.
thank you. And thank you.